3 years ago, my mother quietly deeded her house to me through a life estate, making me the legal owner without my brother Connor's knowledge. He'd been living there rent-free, plotting to claim the property as his own. The attorney at the title company presented the recorded deed, confirming my ownership since Mom's passing 6 months prior, while Connor had fabricated documents to pose as the sole heir. The real bombshell dropped when the buyer's lawyer explained why I'd been summoned. Connor had pocketed $200,000 deposits from 3 separate buyers for the same house, and they were asking if I planned to pursue criminal charges. I'm Jessica Romano, standing in a title office, watching my brother realize he's not only losing the house he schemed to take but also facing jail time for fraud. To grasp how we ended up here, you need to understand why Mom ensured Connor could never touch her most precious asset. After Dad's death when I was 10 and Connor was 15, Mom raised us single-handedly in our San Diego home, a family heirloom for 60 years. She juggled 2 jobs to keep it. By her retirement, that modest North Park craftsman was valued at over $800,000, her entire wealth tied to California real estate. Connor always envied my role as the easy child while he floundered. He quit college, drifted between jobs, and at 35, moved back into Mom's basement with a trail of failed ventures and resentment. Mom allowed him to stay temporarily, a temporary that stretched into 12 years. I became a nurse, married my college love, David, and relocated to Portland for his career. I visited Mom monthly, called daily, and covered bills when her pension wasn't enough. Meanwhile, Connor lived in her basement, contributed nothing, and grumbled constantly. "Jessica's off living her perfect Portland life while I'm stuck caring for you," he'd complain to Mom, as if gaming all day counted as caregiving. The dynamic changed 5 years ago when Mom was diagnosed with early-stage dementia, manageable with medication but requiring more support. I wanted her to move to Portland for daily care, but Connor erupted. "You're not taking Mom away. This is her home, and I'm here for her." Mom, still clear-headed enough to decide, chose to stay. "Connor needs me," she said with a heavy heart. "Without this house, where would he go?" So I flew down monthly, arranged home health aides, managed her medications, and paid for everything while Connor lived rent-free, claiming to be her primary caregiver. Resentment simmered on both sides. 3 years ago, during a lucid moment, Mom called me in tears. "Connor's been taking money from my accounts. The property taxes are overdue. I think he's scheming." I flew to San Diego immediately and was appalled by what I found. Connor had persuaded Mom to add him to her bank accounts and drained them. He'd opened credit cards in her name and even attempted a reverse mortgage, thwarted only by her missing signature. "It's for investments," he insisted when confronted. "I'm helping Mom. You always overreact. She's not that sick." That week, Mom and I met with her estate attorney. Despite Connor's claims, she was legally competent with support. The attorney proposed a life estate deed. Mom could live in the house until her death, but ownership would pass to me immediately. "This protects the property from Connor's plans and any creditors," the lawyer said. "What about Connor?" Mom asked. "He can stay as your guest," the attorney clarified, "but he can't sell, mortgage, or inherit it. It's Jessica's the moment you sign." Mom signed without pause. "I love my son, but I know who he is. This house is my legacy. I won't let him ruin it." We recorded the deed, notified Connor formally, and I thought he understood. He raged for weeks but seemed to relent. Mom's dementia worsened, and I focused on her care, unaware Connor was plotting. 6 months ago, she passed peacefully with me beside her. Connor was at a casino, having stolen her credit card for a final gambling binge. At her funeral, he played the devoted son, vowing to handle everything at the house. Grieving and exhausted, I trusted him. A mistake. I returned to Portland to arrange leave, planning to settle the estate. That's when Connor acted. He forged documents naming himself the sole heir, hid the life estate notice we'd sent, and told realtors Mom had changed her will last minute. He found multiple buyers eager for a below-market cash deal on an $800,000 home. A text hit me at work, "Sold Mom's house. You get nothing since you never visited." I was here. I deserve it. Checks cashed. Don't come back. My blood boiled. Never visited? I'd spent $40,000 on flights, taken unpaid leave, and managed Mom's medical care while he leeched off her. I called him. "Connor, you can't sell the house. The life estate deed." He scoffed, found Mom's real will. "It's all mine. You abandoned us, Jessica. This is justice." He hung up. I contacted our family lawyer, who confirmed the house was mine upon Mom's death. Any sale was fraud. "He's taken buyer's money?" I asked. "That's criminal, possibly wire fraud if he used electronic transfers," the lawyer said. I flew to San Diego that night. The next morning, I entered the title company where Connor was set to close the sale, dressed in a cheap suit, charming elderly buyers about reluctantly selling his beloved mother's home for new families to make memories. "Connor," I said from the doorway, "we need to talk." His face paled, then flushed. "Why are you here?" "Stopping a crime." The title company's lawyer, Ms. Tran, eyed us cautiously. "Let's discuss this privately." In the conference room, I showed the life estate deed, Mom's death certificate, and my ID. Ms. Tran reviewed them and nodded sternly. "Mr. Romano, this sale cannot proceed. Jessica Romano has owned this property since your mother's death. You have no authority to sell it." "That's impossible. I have her will." Connor produced a laughably fake document. Ms. Tran cut in, "Even if that were real, which it's not, a will doesn't override a recorded deed. The house passed outside probate upon death." Then the buyer's attorney revealed Connor had taken $200,000 deposits from 3 different couples for the same house. "A misunderstanding," Connor stuttered. "Just backup offers with non-refundable deposits." The attorney presented contracts. "You promised each buyer the house. That's fraud." Connor turned to me, arrogance fading to desperation. "Jessica, please, we can sort this out." "Family doesn't." I stopped him. "Family doesn't forge documents or steal houses. Family doesn't exploit a dying mother's credit cards. I was there for her. You weren't. I have receipts for 127 flights, $50,000 in medical bills, daily call logs." "What do you have, Connor?" "A gambling problem and entitlement." Ms. Tran interjected, "Ms. Romano, the buyers want their money back. Since your brother likely spent it, they're ready to press charges unless you can recover their funds." I looked at Connor, 47, living in Mom's basement, swindling elderly couples. He'd become Mom's worst fear. "I'll cover one deposit," I said. "The Nakamuras, the elderly couple downsizing for their grandkids. I'll make them whole. The others? That's Connor's mess." "Jessica, please," he begged. "You have 48 hours to return the other $400,000, or I'm pressing charges for fraud, forgery, elder abuse, and identity theft, on top of what the buyers do." Connor sobbed, not out of guilt but from being caught. The police were called, and he was arrested when he couldn't account for the $600,000. The investigation exposed his long-term scheme: fake documents, a false narrative of being Mom's sole caregiver, even intercepting her mail to hide legal notices. His gambling debts to dangerous people had driven him to see Mom's house as his salvation. I repaid the Nakamura's deposit and offered them the house at fair market value, $825,000. They accepted, thrilled to secure a home they thought they'd gotten for $650,000 in Connor's scam. Connor took a plea deal, 3 years for fraud, with restitution to victims he couldn't repay. He'll be nearly 50 when released, with no home, no family, and a felony record. At sentencing, he gave a tearful speech about being the overlooked child who sacrificed everything for Mom. The judge, having seen evidence of my caregiving versus his exploitation, was unmoved. "Mr. Romano, you sacrificed nothing. You stole your mother's money, her peace, her daughter's inheritance. You're no victim. You preyed on your own family." I sold the house to the Nakamuras, whose grandchildren now fill it with joy. I donated Connor's belongings to charity, using the proceeds for his prison account, enough for essentials, nothing more, as Mom would have wanted. The house profits funded a trust for dementia research and caregiver support. Mom's true legacy isn't the property Connor tried to steal, but the lesson that love sometimes means shielding people from those who'd exploit them, even family. Connor writes occasionally, swinging between apologies and blame. I don't reply. He made his choice when he saw Mom's death as his payout. I made mine when I valued her life over his greed. The Nakamuras invited me to dinner recently. The house feels alive now, vibrant with family. They showed me Mom's roses, still blooming in the garden. Your mother raised good children, Mrs. Nakamura said gently. One of them, at least. I laughed, surprised. She was right. Mom raised one good child and one warning tale. Connor can blame me, but the truth is clear. You can't sell what isn't yours, or steal what was already given. The house is gone from our family, lost the moment Connor chose greed over gratitude. Now it shelters people who paid honestly, not a son who thought inheritance was his right, not his privilege. Somewhere in a California prison, Connor likely still sees himself as the victim. But the real victims, Mom, the defrauded buyers, the family he shattered, have moved forward. The house stands, the roses bloom, and the son who tried to steal both sits in a cell, learning too late that the only thing he ever truly owned was the chance to be better. He chose otherwise.